Would you necessarily design a house logo for a real estate firm or a book logo for a publishing house? Or do you create logos that are too complicated to be understood? If you answered with yes at least once, then I think I found a concept that will help you surpass this. It is the obvious but secret little sauce that I think logo designers don't know enough about. It helps you explain why you took each design decision in case the client doubts you. It helps you produce better work because you create brands that present accurate meanings to their specific audience. The brand you create will have higher chances of being successful and your clients will end up recommending you more often. It helps you trust your process and your work more, and it helps you brainstorm easier. But before I tell you that, let me explain what I mean. As technology evolved, it became that easy to design brands that some of the young or beginner brand builders just started doing it without understanding how to transpose communication into design. Instead, I think we should all dig deeper into using logos and branding to create and convey certain meanings for certain people. But what is meaning, you might ask? Well, let's say you're in a beautiful city center and you want to pick a place to drink a tasty classic beer. There are many options, but you don't know what to choose. Suddenly, you see a vintage logo with serif letters for a bar named The Old Beer House. It stands out and it seems like the go-to choice for what you want. So you go there. A friend sees you going in there, so this means he might also like that bar. That is why next week he'll go there too. And that is when a friend of your friend sees him there, so he'll also go there in the week after that. And so on. That is meaning, a chain of signs that determine each other. In our story, the first sign was the logo that you saw, which determined you to go to that bar. That was actually the second sign, you going into that bar, and that made your friend also go to that bar, which may be another sign to someone else, and so on. So signs convey meanings to people. That is why it is so important to understand signs, because they can help you create the meaning that you want. Now, signs have their own science. Signs have their science, which is called semiotics. So why not take the discoveries of Peirce and Saussure, the enlightened minds of this field, and apply them to branding and logo design? To understand the connection between those two, you need to know two more basic concepts. Let's get back to our example. You see the logo of the Old Beer House, which is a sign, the sign of a bar that serves beer, which is the object interpreted by you, the interpretant. In other words, signs are best understood as a relationship between three parts: the sign, the object, and the interpretant. In branding and logo design, we know there's usually an entity or a business, which is the object. As you probably know, this object should determine the sign, which may be the logo of the business. In our example, let's say the bar has a history of over 30 years and it produces its own beer. It's a family-run business that wants to serve clients who are passionate about beer. If that's the desired image of the brand, then the logo should make the clients identify it like that. And let's be clear, there are many signs determined by their object in our case. How clients are treated by the employees, how the bar looks, how clean the toilet is. Everything is a sign determined by our object. But I insist on the logo as a sign to help you see the inherent value it has in this relationship and how critical it may be for some businesses when making a first impression. Now that sign, the logo, is interpreted in a way by you, the interpretant. In our example, you see the logo and you interpret it. The logo makes you identify that as a warm bar that serves tasty beer, and it does that through name, colors, shape, type, etc. Because all those elements mean something to you. That is why it is so important to understand what each design decision might say about the entity we are creating. Because if we don't, we might design logos that are not compatible with the feelings we want to convey, or that are not helping us build the image we want. In other words, using semiotics, you can see that logos and brand identities are signs able to influence how the audience, interpretant, feels about businesses, object. And there are three types of signs you can use in or as logos. Find out what they are and how to use them in this video I made on the topic. See you there! See you there!